Hello, this is my video showing all the kit I'm going to take on the West Island Way tomorrow. Weather forecast is pretty grim, so preparing for the wet. Silver lining to that is preparing less for biting insects, of course. But what I'm going to do here is go through all the kit one by one, from clothes right through to what I'm carrying in the rucksack. So it could be quite a long video. I haven't packed it all yet, so this is kind of the first check that I've got everything as well. So go through this bag. Taking just a poly bag to hold clothes on the day. Saves me rummaging about in dry sacks within the rucksack. And you want to take your jacket off, on, fleece on, off, you know how it is up in the hills that the weather can change all the time, so you don't really know what you're going to wear, and you're probably not going to wear the same thing all day, so keep it all in some kind of bag is a good idea. If anything, it keeps the wetness in the one place. So first thing is actually my watch. So this is my navigation aid when I'm going out Bangor Monroe's, but on the West Island Way I don't expect navigation to be an issue. I'll be just using this to track my hike over the days. So it's not really being used to its fullest. I'm not even going to put the track on it. The West Island Way is quite an easy route to navigate, so it'll just be used as a navigation, a tracking tool rather than navigation. First item of clothing. This is a fairly recent purchase. It's my Rab outer shell. It's worked fairly well. No issues with it so far, so that's certainly anticipated to be in heavy use in the first day of the weather forecast to be awful. Next up, my base layer. Again, it's a Rab long sleeve working material, very lightweight, and I've worn it a few times up the Monroe's. It's very comfortable, just what you need as a base layer. For trousers, I'm going for quite an old pair of trousers actually. I've got newer pair which are packed. The reason I'm wearing these is these detach at the knees, so they turn into shorts. On the first day with the forecast to be so wet, I'm not sure whether I'll wear the full length trousers or if I'll wear shorts under the waterproof trousers. So this gives me the ability to hedge my bets. So a fairly old pair of trousers. I think they're Carrymore. Yeah, Carrymore. But these have probably done more Monroe's than most Monroe baggers, to be honest. So they're fairly old. Okay. Boxer shorts, Under Armour, never fail. So the aforementioned waterproof trousers. So these are just a fairly cheap pair of waterproof trousers. Obviously you can't wear these all the time. You get a bit sweaty in these because obviously they don't let your skin or body breathe, so you tend to sweat whenever you're wearing these. So if it's raining heavily, I put these on. I hardly ever wear them, but I think they'll be needed tomorrow. This is a fairly recent addition. I've worn this up quite a number of Monroe's. It's the North Face Fleece. What I find with this is not only does it keep you nice and warm, but somehow it's some miraculous material that seems to dry really quickly. It doesn't hold moisture. I'm not quite sure how it does it, but this North Face Fleece has been a fantastic addition to the kit. Buff. This is a very recent addition, and I've used this just to wear around my neck to stop flies getting around my neck. I don't anticipate flies being an issue in the West Island Way in October, but if nothing else, it might keep me warm around my neck, so Not sure, that may stay in this bag most of the time. Certainly very useful when the flies around. Pair of gloves, I don't know if it'll get that cold, but obviously these are just quite small, thin gloves. They're not my proper hiking winter gloves, but in October I think these may also just stay in the bag most of the time, but I'll take them just in case. So that's all the clothes I'm planning to take up. Sorry. Most importantly, I do plan to wear boots. I did swither about getting trail running shoes for long distance walking, and the jury's still out to be honest, but this time around I'm going to go for the hiking boot. And I've spent a lot of time trying out different boots that I already have, and to cut a long story short, I bought these new boots. The new Keen with these patented baffles, I think they call them. It allows the boot to flex without cracking in this area where boots normally crack. They've had fantastic reviews, so although it's probably quite a bad idea to change your boots just before a 5-day hike, that's what I'm doing. One of the reasons being my hiking boots have actually started coming apart, so it's no surprise. I do a lot of road bagging, so I tend to go through hiking boots every couple of years anyway. The ones I've got, the Salomons I've got just now, I've only had them for a year, but I've been out quite a lot in the last year, and I've just noticed that the thread round about here, round about actually where they tend to crack, the thread's coming away, and that really does explain how I find they're not too waterproof anymore. So waterproofing I think is going to be so vital, judging by the forecast in the next week. I think I'm going to be in a lot of rain, so I've opted not to go for boots that I know aren't waterproof because there's basically small holes in them. So I've brought forward purchase of new hiking boots, and so I've tried these just on a few 3-mile walks around about Glencoe, and they seem to be very comfortable. I've got a wee bit of a sore kind of ball of the foot area walking along the flat on tarmac, so what I've done is I've bought new very thick insoles, so what they call sorbrethine or something like that. So I've taken the insoles you tend to get with boots aren't as good as the expensive insoles you can buy, obviously third party. So these insoles are about £20, and I've put them in and they're noticeably a lot softer. So hopefully that's going to help alleviate any potential foot problems. Feet are the issue in the West Highland Way. I've done the West Highland Way before, not camping but hotelling all the way up, and the only problems I had were from the ankle downwards with horrendous blisters. So it's very important you get the right footwear, and unfortunately, as I said, I've not really had time to test these out, so it's a bit of a risk I'm taking, but I have done quite a lot of research into what should work, and on the 3-mile hikes I've done around Glencoe, it does involve quite steep walking up about a third of the way up the path actually. So I have put them through their paces, albeit over very short hikes. So as I say, it's a bit of a risk, but what can I do? I can't go with the tested boots that I've got, as I say, because they're leaking. So that's just the boots. Now the other important part of your footwear are your socks, and I've tried various different combinations of socks. I tend to go with liner socks and thick socks over them. I'm going to continue that on the West Highland Way. I've got nice new Bridgedale liner socks. I've tried them on my old boots, obviously, on a few Monroe hikes recently, and I haven't had any problems with them. I'm switching to these. These are actually older socks I've had. I tend to use kind of more kind of compression, fairly thick socks. I'm going for because these boots feel a little bit big on my feet, I'm going for a thicker sock. Unfortunately, I haven't got the brand of these socks. They're Danish, so there's a Danish flag on them. And I remember I used to wear these just on their own Freightliner socks for years on Monroe bagging, and these were my favourite socks. So they're making a return. They're merino wool, which I'd always recommend for socks, other than the liners. Liners can be, they have to wick away sweat from your feet, but then you want merino wool, I would say. So that's my feet system, if you like. So as I say, that's a bit of a risk, so we'll see how that goes over the next week or so. So that's all the clothes I'll be wearing on the first day anyway. So moving on to, I've put everything, or most of my kit, in these dry bags. This is actually a pump sack for the first air mattress I tried recently. It doubles as a really good dry bag though. So, and this has got kit that I wouldn't open the bag until I've got the tent up. So this will keep everything in here completely dry until I'm in the tent. So it's very important that all the kit in here stays dry. And actually, I say that for both my red and black bags. These have kit in them that shouldn't be opened up until the tent's open. That's how I'm playing. I'm trying to keep the sequence of events setting up camp quite well, anticipating it to be pouring when I'm trying to set up my tent. So you don't want to bring out everything and have it lying in the wet grass and being rained on while you're half about getting your tent up. There's a couple of bags of noodles which actually should go in the black bag, because that's the food for camp. It didn't quite fit the noodles, and there was a bit of space in there. So other than that, we've got basically my nightwear. It's a cotton t-shirt and cotton shorts. They're stuffed in there. And I've got, this is my new sleeping pad. So this is an air mattress. Look at the size of that. It's tiny. This is basically, I think it's about 4 inches thick. Now the first air mattress I got was only about 2 inches, and I slept not too bad on that first one, but I did feel a little bit of soreness on the hip and the next day. It wasn't too bad, but it was obviously due to my hip kind of grounding out through the quite thin air mattress. So this is about twice the weight of that other one, but I think it's very important to have a comfortable night's sleep, especially if you're going out for 5 days. So that's a Nemo Tensor, long and wide, so it's a big one, heaviest one, but overall it is pretty lightweight, and that's actually got the pump sack in there as well, so it compresses down to a very small size. I've got also by Nemo, got my sleeping bag. So again, compresses down incredibly small for the size of sleeping bag this is. Now this is the men's size, men's large, whatever you want to call it. It's spec to be comfortable down to -1. I don't anticipate it getting near to -1 this week. It's mostly duck down feathers, and quite a large sleeping bag once you let it all expand out. I used this once and it was very comfortable. In fact, if anything, it was too warm. So that was at the height of summer though. So yeah, that I don't anticipate there being any risk in using that. That's a good bang. Trichology Pillow Deluxe. So this just blows up, nice big pillow. And then I've got my cooking system. So this all packs away into itself, even though all the pieces have come from different suppliers, they all fairly conveniently pack into each other. So most of it comes into this bag, but I've got the Tox Titanium 750 milliliter pot. So, and nicely, the gas canister, which is, I reckon this is going to be good for about 10 nights maybe. So this is enough for the West Island Way on itself. That nicely fits into the saviour up space. That's a 250 gram gas canister. I've also got this folding gas canister stand, so you're not relying on the gas canister just sitting on the ground. Stick it in this and it's a lot more secure. And then where would you be without the stove itself? So this is the last thing in the bag. I've got this Santo Stove. So this is quite a neat little contraption. So this fits onto the gas canister and holds your pot. A bit like that. And the good thing about this one, that controls the amount of gas you have, but it's got a built-in ignition. So that's a nice wee piece of kit. Let's just move all that aside. One last thing. Just bought this power bank. So this will enable me to keep my phone charged up for the whole week. It'll probably do a good 2 weeks actually. It's 30 ampere hour. It took best part of a day to charge this up yesterday. It's also got a built-in light. Which can also send SOS out if you really need a flash. So that's a light source for at night in the tent as well, but will keep my mobile phone charged for the whole week. On the black bag, this is all my food. This is all my cooking food. So as I say, I've had 2 bags of noodles, so that's 3 bags, 4 bags. Bear in mind, I plan to be camping 4 nights. I've got my book in this bag, because the book wouldn't fit in the red bag. So. And then I won't bring them all out, but I've got four of these, various flavours, something to eat. So these are Dehydrated Meals. These are what I see others have said taste really good, so I went with other recommendations. I haven't tried them yet, so there's another risk. That's those 2 bags that won't come out until the tent's all up and waterproof. Got the little, what's this, orange bag? This is a medical bag. So, some bags over it. So, antiperspirant. Long-handled titanium spoon, so that's for cooking. Now that wouldn't fit in either one of those other bags. So maybe it should. Maybe I'll think about changing that actually. Oh no, I put that in the medical kit because this will get wet. Try to keep wetness away from various bags. I've got, in case there are midges at night, I've got a citronella candle. So that's the only thing I'm using as a deterrent. I don't think flies are going to be a big issue in the West Island Way in October though. I'll take that in any case. Got a couple of these household cleaning sponges. These are going to be used basically as towels. So I'm going to have to keep one for me, to dry me, and I'll need to keep the other one separate to dry anything else like the tent, inside the tent, or pieces of kit that get wet. So I've got a couple of these. Other people do use these as kind of towels, so we'll just need to see how that goes. But yeah, all the things in this bag are in freezer bags as well, because these things are anticipated to get wet. If nature calls, I've got toilet roll, not much of it. I don't anticipate having to use it much, but I've got toilet roll. And in this one, this is where most of my first aidy things are. It's in a freezer bag and in this zip bag as well. So let's open this up. I've got Compeed, got a few Compeed blister plasters, they're essential. I've got some what's this? Elastic bandage. Don't anticipate needing this ever, but I'll take it anyway. Travel toothbrush. This is a normal toothbrush I sawed in half. Travel toothpaste. Vaseline. So Lisa swore by smearing Vaseline all around her feet, and she never got a single blister on the West Island Way. So that's why I got the Vaseline. I'll give it a shot, see how that works for me, because as I said earlier, I had horrendous blisters. Almost ended my West Island Way for me last time. So Vaseline. Pen knife. Don't know why I might need it, but I'll take one. Nurofen and paracetamol, just in case. Another layer of protection against the elements. Safety pins, a whole load of them. Tweezers and earplugs and a tick remover. So if I get a tick, I'll have tweezers, I'll have a tick remover, I'll be able to get rid of a tick. So you want earplugs because I don't anticipate it being completely silent every night, so I've got earplugs just in case. And the last little bag in a bag in a bag, I've got water purification tablets in there, along with a bunch of dry wipes and alcohol wipes, just in case we have a cut. So quite a lot in that tiny little bag. I can't think of anything else I might need though, so just quickly shove all that to one side. Right, where are we? We're getting close to the end here. So, blue bag. This is all, I won't bring everything out here. This has got spare clothes, so it's surprising how little this can compress down to. Bear in mind, I won't be wearing freshly washed clothes for every one of the 5 days. I have basically 2 main sets of clothes. I don't have 2 jackets and 2 fleeces, but I've got 2 base layers, certainly. I've got 2 underlayers, let's say, and I've got extra socks as well, because those are the most likely things to get wet and give you blisters due to that. So it's important not to take too much, and I've got spare trousers in here, spare base layer, socks, box of shorts, so that all compresses down quite nicely. Quite surprising. Got bottles for a variety of different reasons. So these two are basically drinking bottles, a litre and a 600ml. This will go into the side of the rucksack, it'll be easy to bring out. This actually won't have any water in it as a start. I'm going to be very careful to manage how much water I carry all the time. There's no point in carrying lots of water if you know there's going to be a water tap, 5-10 miles down the road. You may only want this, especially if it's raining. You don't need to drink as much if it's raining. If it was forecast to be bright, sunny and hot, I'd have a different strategy. But the third bottle, that's for at night to save me getting out the tent. Say no more. Face mask, only. Just before I did the video, I realised that I might need a face mask. Just in case I need to go into a shop on the way. So this is I've not used this, but this will go around my neck. This will carry my phone in it, and I've also put a bunch of change in there. For whatever reason, I might want to use a camping site tumble dryer or something. I've got a few pound coins in there just in case I need them. But yeah, mostly for the mobile phone. We'll go in there, it'll be handy right there, and it'll get pretty much guarantee it doesn't get wet and break. This tent, the tent system. So I've tried the tent, it works very well. So it comes in 3 bags. It should come in 2, but I've used this other bag just to keep the tent pole in it. I don't like shoving the tent pole in with the tent. I just worry it snags the tent material. So that's just the tent pole. Incredibly lightweight. This was bought in addition to the tent. This is actually the Nordusk custom footprint in terms of a ground sheet for laying under the tent. So this protects the tent just in case there's any sharp stones or anything that you're going to put your expensive tent down on. This is a thicker, more waterproof membrane, if you like, that goes under the tent just to give you extra security. I've also put all the tent pegs in here. They're all in a separate bag. So I've got the special Nordusk pegs in here. Ultra lightweight pegs. I think I've got 6 of these. I've got the additional guide wires for the tent in case I need to use them in a storm. I don't really anticipate that. But I'll just use these standard pegs for the ground sheet. I need 6 pegs for the ground sheet. So I've got 6 of these just to stick the ground sheet down first. And then the proper Nordusk pegs. I need 4 of them for the tent. And I've got another couple of guide wires and pegs for the tent. So that all goes in this bag. And for the same reason I keep the pole in a separate bag. I stick the pegs on the ground sheet because you worry about maybe stabbing the tent with these sharp ends of the pegs. So that's all in there. That's about 350 grams or so. And this is my Nordusk tent. It's a 2-man tent. It's 950 grams. I've weighed this, and this actually weighs 920 grams. But that's without any of the pole and the pegs, of course. So incredibly lightweight for this size of tent. I'm certainly not going to open this up for you, but obviously I'll take some pictures of it during the hike. But I've used this on my infamous Loch Millardach fiasco, let's say, where I was eaten alive by swarms of flies, etc. But this is actually pitched twice on that one night. But yeah, very happy with that tent. It's a good investment. So, moving on to the rucksack. This is the Osprey X Exos 48. So, looking at guys who do the Cape Raft Trail tell me 48 litres is big enough for them. So that kind of set a target for me. If you can do the Cape Raft Trail over, what was it, just over 2 weeks, using one of these rucksacks, well, why would I need bigger? So 48 litres isn't huge. Feels just about right to me, actually, now that I've gone through all the purchase of all this kit. It seems to be an appropriate size now. You obviously get this this pocket right at the top that's a lot handier to get to. So I'm keeping all my day food in here. Also keeping a midgie net, so I'm not doing a lot to guard against the flies, but I will take this because it weighs nothing. I'll stick it there so I can get it at any point. So yeah, I've got a collection of big of sweeties, half-eaten bag of nuts, another big bag of nuts, mixed nuts. I've got a dry bag. Oh jeez. This is full of, I'm not going to open this up, but there's 4 very large flapjacks that really fill you up for a whole day. And more bags of nuts and boost bars and all kind of stuff. So I don't anticipate opening this up in the first day. The first day I've got more than enough, but it's quite kind of loose in this top part of the rucksack. So it'll probably take me into the second day to get to the point where I'm opening this. But there's loads of food for 5 days. in addition to the meals I've got all packed into this. It's all very calorie dense food, very important I'm not carrying you know, inefficient weight ever. So that's the top, there's nothing else in it. As I said, the bottles can kind of go in these side pockets and you can quite easily take them out your side, because there's a hole in the side here that allows you to slip them out. Works really well. And then finally, I think there's just a pocket that it's not in any way waterproof. So in here I've got an empty poly bag. I'll use this to put any rubbish if I need to carry rubbish for a while before I get to a bin. So I don't need to keep that dry, obviously, so that's in there. Got a shovel. Most of you will know why I need a shovel. Let's just not go into that. Digging holes in the mud. And lastly, got a dry bag that has a couple of small seats or sitting pads. So these weigh nothing. And they fold out to give you a nice dry pad to sit on. That might sound a bit of a luxury, or you know, why are you bothering with that? Well, there's practicalities of setting up a tent and you want to cook, the ground's soaking wet. Well, where do you sit? So you need a couple of seating pads to enable you to sit down on the ground outside your tent. Maybe you have the porch set up for your tent, but you still need something dry to sit on. So that all goes in there, all in there. So that's the bag. So I've now got to check everything is here. Check I've got everything on the floor here before I stuff it all into this tent, and then I'll weigh it and I'll see if I've got a bag that's going to make me keel over, break my back, or if I've got a bag that's going to allow me to enjoy the hike. Okay, so I'll catch you in the next video.